Oh, dear dairy. Wow. Big dinner. I think I mentioned that the couple that I dog sit for wanted to take me to dinner tonight because the last two times that I was supposed to dog sit for them, they had to cancel because, well, the first time Colorado was flooding, and the second time, I don't honestly remember what it was. So yeah, we went to this barbecue place. It was all right. I like Blue Rock a lot better. Maybe it's just me. The place that we went today, excuse me, goodness. Oh, I beg your pardon. Um, was okay. The they gave us one of the appetizers was chicken lollipops, which are basically just drumsticks that all the meats kind of scooted down to one end, and it was wrapped in bacon. That part was actually quite nice. And then they had kind of this sweet honeyed barbecue sauce. It was pretty tasty. So those were the appetizers, and they were okay. It was barbecue chicken with bacon wrapped around it, which was the best part of it. Um, and then there was, for what I had for my main meal, was they had a special 3-meat deal. And I got the beef brisket, the pulled pork, and the Louisiana hot sausage link, which was long, thin. I'm not sure what kind of casing they use. I'm not sure if they use natural casing. They might be natural casings because they had that very distinct snap when you bite into them, which I didn't do much of really because I was using a knife and fork to cut mine. It was very difficult to get the fork. It was just a plastic fork to get it through that skin, and then the plastic knife. It took a while for it to start actually getting any traction on cutting it. But once it did, it cut through it pretty fast. The part about it that kind of bothered me after that was there was every time I put a piece in my mouth, there was this weird, I can only describe it as some odd kind of synthetic chemical taste, but it was only there for a split second and it was gone. Not sure what it was. It was a little bit of a turnoff, so I didn't like that very much. The brisket was kind of dry. You definitely needed to use the sauce on it. Granted, when given the choice, they said, do you want the fattier cut of the brisket or do you want the leaner cut? I said, leaner cut because I don't like fat very much. As much of it as I have, I don't want it anymore. So I said the leaner cut, and it was drier, but once you added some of the barbecue sauce, it was fine. They had 3 barbecue sauces. They all said they were Carolina style, but the guy who was one of the 2 that was with me was like, this is not Carolina style sauce at all. Did you see that man when we walked? Yes, Gary, I saw him. And they had a blues band, really good blues band. And we were sitting right next to them. So couldn't hear each other talking. I was kind of wishing that I had brought my iPad with me so that anytime Carrie turned to me to say something, I could just go, "What?" and slide that thing over and then he could type the response. That would have been way too Silicon Valley though. But I mean, hell, that's where we are. Pulled pork was okay. Again, it was a little bit dry. Not too bad. Add a little bit of the sauce. The spicier sauce was good. The cornbread, I was not a fan of the cornbread. The 2 of them loved the cornbread. They were like, "Oh my God, this cornbread is so good." I'm like, no. Want good cornbread, you go over to Blue Rock. That's where it's just better. Just all around better. The key lime pie, which I had for dessert, was key lime, a little bit key lime. I'm used to when I have somebody put down a key lime pie in front of me, it's not this thing where I have to go, is that green? It's a little bit, yeah, there's some green to that, I guess. And then when I take a bite out of it, I'm like, oh, there's the lime. Okay. No. It should be lime. Oh, wow, that's lime. It's just the way it should be. And the whipped cream on top had all the appearance and texture of whipped cream, but it had 0 flavor. It wasn't sweet at all. What? God. Wasn't sweet, wasn't creamy. I'm gonna slap the numbers right off your face. Wasn't sweet, wasn't creamy at all. It was just, it looked. Are you guys done? Wasn't sweet, wasn't creamy at all. So it just, I don't know, was a very meh sort of dessert. Apparently they were raving about the banana pudding, which they both had. Whatever. They raved about it when they put it down, or since they started eating it, they were like, "Are there any bananas in yours? I don't see any bananas." And they got to the bottom, like, "Oh, there's the bananas there." And yes, I found them. I love those guys to death. I really do. So yeah, it was pretty good. Very loud blues music. Very loud blues music, but it was good loud blues music. I think the best part of the whole dinner was one of the busboys, whose name was Hector, and he was fairly new. And oh my God, was he cute! Holy crap, was he cute! Boyfriend, yeah. So I'm gonna do something that I almost never do. Oh, yeah, it's been a while since I've had. Oh, it's been a little while since I've had one of those, and I sometimes forget what they're like. When you drink soda a lot, you get used to. Wow, wow, you get used to the acidic and the super syrupy. Oh goodness. At least it wasn't Barks root beer. I mean, I love Barks root beer, but if you haven't had it in a while and you pick it up, their slogan, Barks has bite, they're not kidding. You know, if you haven't had it in about a year and you take a sip of it, it sort of grabs you right here. It's just like, and you were just, every muscle in here tries to clench up like, no, don't drink it. And it's like battery acid. It's just amazing. It's so good. Sorry, I got a little lost in reminiscing there. And we are right at 8 minutes. I don't even know if I had anything else to talk about. I may have. It seems like I had written something else down. I just don't know what it was. And once again, I forgot to open this thing up and have it open before I start recording. No, that's for podcast notes. No, I had nothing else written down. Maybe that's why I didn't bother to start it up. For those of you who have not watched the last podcast for Into the Portal, you are missing out on some seriously funny stuff, because apparently I was making people laugh a lot. So yeah, go back down my channel a bit and watch it. You know the rules. No ad block. Don't make me cry. And don't make me drink this shit anymore. No matter what brand it is, they're all this. Why am I drinking it? I don't know. We had a birthday party recently, and there are sodas everywhere in this house, and somehow my brain seems to think that drinking them is the best way to get rid of them. I don't know. But they're insidious. The more you drink them, the more you like them, and the more you want them. So I'm going to try to cut myself off. That's why before I started recording, I actually remembered this time, before I started recording, I made some tea. And as you can probably see, there is steam coming out of this cup because it's a nice, fresh cup of tea. But at present, it's still too hot to drink. But it is neat because I put it next to my lamp on the corner of my desk, and the steam goes up through the lampshade and you just kind of spiral. I'm not going to show you because it's really not that cool. Whatever. Shut up. God, you people. Yak, yak, yak. That's all. Yeah. Nothing else really. And 10 minutes. So, go, fly, be free. Go do your stuff. And I will talk to you next time. And until then, be careless.